Hello, you are welcome once again to Anita the Pedagogue channel. We want to continue our literature lessons today, and today we want to look at a drama book. We want to look at The Dilemma of a Ghost by Ama Ata Aidoo, a Ghanaian prolific writer. Let's look at our lesson objectives for today. We would be looking at the biography of the playwright Ama Ata Aidoo. We'll progress and take a look at the title, the choice of the title, what information the title gives us about the drama. We'll move on to the prelude and the setting of the drama. Let us begin with the biography of the playwright Ama Ata Aidoo. So who is Ama Ata Aidoo? She was born actually on the 23rd of March 1942 at Abiaje Chiako near Salt Pond in Gold Coast. Now we don't have Gold Coast anymore, it is Ghana. And Ama Ata Aidoo actually focused on writing about the perspectives of the modern African woman. So she has her first problem play, which happens to be the drama we are going to look at, The Dilemma of a Ghost. This was published somewhere in 1965, and it was first presented by students of theatre at the University of Ghana, Open Air Theatre, Commonwealth Hall. So Ama Ata Aidoo actually continued and had a fellowship at Stanford University in California. She later returned to teach at Cape Coast in Ghana. And in 1982 to 83, she served as Ghana's Minister of Education. Some of her popular works include No Sweetness Here, a collection of short stories, Anoa, Someone Talking to Sometime, a collection of poetry, and the novel Changes, a love story. So that does it for just a bit about Ama Ata Aidoo. We'll quickly make some progress, and we are going to look at the title, The Dilemma of a Ghost. I don't know what you make of it. Again, before you really read this interesting drama, you begin to wonder what it will be about, especially if you haven't had a chance to look at the blurb or a summary of the drama. So for the analysis of literature, if you are looking at a title, you want to first of all check if there are some keywords that needs to be explained and if these words have some symbolism or significance. So we will look at the word dilemma and then ghost. So when we talk about a dilemma, it is a state of doubt or confusion. When somebody is indecisive, that person is said to be in a dilemma. And for a ghost, a ghost is actually the appearance of a dead person which is believed to manifest to the living. Some believe that they exist, but haven't seen them physically. The use of the word ghost, it could refer to the fear of the unknown. Let's make some progress and quickly move on to other aspects of the title. So the title is actually deduced from the Act 3 of The Dilemma of a Ghost. And in the Act 3, we see two village children, boy and girl. They are characters, and they sing a ghost song in the dream of the character. And this character is Ato. And in the dream, we see that there is a ghost that is confused at a junction, not knowing which way to go. And I quote, "Shall I go to Cape Coast or Elmina?" Cape Coast and Elmina are actual towns in Ghana. This song which is the ghost song that the main character Ato had a dream on, shows his confusion, and that is dilemma. He does not know what to decide. And when you read further the dilemma of a ghost, you realize that Ato Yosin, the main character, was torn between two things. One being his African folks, his family, and their traditional culture. And on the other hand, his African American wife, Ulali, who is a modern woman and wants things done in the modern way. So that does it for the title, The Dilemma of a Ghost. Let's go on and look at the prelude. Usually not all narratives have a prelude, but for The Dilemma of a Ghost, Ama Ata Aidoo wrote a prelude for it, and the prelude actually is a very important part of the drama. This is because it tells us a lot about what we are going to see in the acts, the other major divisions of the drama. So a prelude is the opening introduction before a literary work begins. So it introduces a literary work. If you take a look at the prelude of The Dilemma of a Ghost, it begins with a poetry in a speech, and this was said by a narrator. Then there is a dialogue between two key characters, Ato and Ulali. Also on the prelude, we realize that the poetry and speech by the narrator gives us a lot of information. It tells us the history of the family of the main character, Ato. It also foreshadows the events we will see in the acts that follow. So we see in the prelude, and I quote, "But if in the making of one scholar much is gone, you stranger do not know, just listen to their horn blower." So this gives us an insight that there is something going on. There is a scholar. There's something going on in the life of the scholar. And that we, the audience, and if you are reading, the reader should just sit back and listen to the horn blower. That is, listen to how the story unfolds. Also, you realize that there is a growing love relationship between Ato and Ulali, even as they graduate in America, and they talk of their plans of relocating to Ato's motherland, Ghana. So if you look at the prelude of The Dilemma of a Ghost, first of all, you get to know that there is a history of the family of the main character, and also a dialogue between two key characters, that is the main character Ato and his wife Ulali. Let us look at further information that the prelude of the drama gives us. So the plot development of The Dilemma of a Ghost begins right from the prelude, and that is why the prelude is very, very important, because we see one of the key characters, Ulali, talk of her perception of Africa and African women and family. And I quote from Ulali, "I suppose African women do not talk." This foretells us that ahead of the acts, the major divisions of the drama, there could be issues that have to do with African women and they giving out their opinions. Also, we see Ato, another key character, the main character, also assuring her, Ulali, that their childbearing can wait irrespective of the social norms and expectations of couples in Africa. And I quote Ato vehemently, "Look at me. We shall postpone having children for as long as you would want." Unquote. This foretells us that in the drama, there could be issues that concerns one, the perspective of African women, and two, the issue of having children, that is concerning the traditions of Ato's folks from Africa. And so in all, even though there is conflict between Ato and Ulali in the prelude, they believe that their love will conquer it all. And eventually, let's see if their love overcomes it all. Let us continue and make some good progress. So we'll quickly look at the general setting of a dilemma of a ghost, especially from the prelude. So it begins with Ato and Ulali's graduation and marriage in America. Ato travels back with his wife, Ulali, to his motherland in Ghana, specifically Accra, and to the Odumna clan house, Ato's home in his hometown. So we have the beginning from an American setting and to Ghana, specifically the Odumna clan. But let's learn more about the setting. Ato's hometown could be Mankesim in Cape Coast. The people of Mankesim are Fantis, that is the tribe, and they were led by three great warriors known as Obrumankuma, Odapejan, and Oson. That is the whale, the eagle, and the elephant respectively. And they led the Fanti people during the pre-colonial Ghana era. The names of these leaders are very important to our studies because they were mentioned in the prelude as part of Ato's history, and that is why I think that Ato's hometown could be Markesim. Also, the events of the play is spread out over a year. So from the time that they were in America to their return back to Ato's motherland, over the time that the story was told by the playwright, when you read the entire story, you would realize that it spans over a year. And so for our general setting, that is what we will look at. Now this brings us to the end of our lesson. A quick recap: we looked at the biography of the playwright Ama Ata Aidoo. We also looked at the title, The Dilemma of a Ghost. We looked at an analysis of the prelude and the setting of the drama. I would introduce you to other lessons that we have on Anita the Pedagogue channel. That is Introduction to Drama, Mid-Term Break Poem Analysis, Article Writing, Independent Clause, Subordinate Clause, Brackets, Hyphens, and Dashes. I hope this lesson was useful to you. Please put in your comments and questions and I'll respond to them. Do like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And until I come your way again, keep learning and be the best version of yourself.